Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Today, quick video showcasing some great LED lights that were sent to me by a company that goes by the name of Hulk Pilot. I believe that's what they're trying to spell out here. They added an O. So, again, a lot of these Asian companies, Asian stores, generally have kind of, sometimes some, I don't want to say odd names, but just kind of unique names that are a little hard to say sometimes. Not really sure how you're expected to say it, but nonetheless, that happens quite regularly. So they were nice enough to send me some of their LED puck lights. So again, I've reviewed stuff like this in the past, and anytime I get an opportunity to get some stuff like this, I always find a use for it. So I usually don't turn down any kind of offers. So wanted to share with you guys, again, not any kind of groundbreaking, life-changing stuff here, but these are pretty handy. What happened, they ended up sending me the 4-pack, and I was supposed to, the deal was for the 6-pack. So what I'll do is just give these 4 to like one of my family members, and they can find use for it. My mom loves stuff like this for like Christmas and decorating, stuff like that. So anyway, here's the box, and here is the light. These are powered off of 3 AA batteries. And what I like about these is that you have the RGB colors, of course, a few different functions. They give you one of the remotes. Each box of whether it be 4 or 6 comes with a remote. Really easy to change the batteries. Just basically pop the back off. You have your batteries on the back. You can apply this to really any surface if you want to use like some double stick tape. What I generally do if I want to add these to areas that you know, they're going to be like maybe in a closet, somewhere I know they're gonna remain. And I'm not sure about these, what I'm going to do with these quite yet, but you can drill a little hole in the back and, you know, fix a screw. This way you always have an easy surface for you to basically just pop this back on and, you know, replace the batteries when you need to. Sometimes the double stick tape can cause damage to surfaces. Just depends on where you're putting these, so use your discretion. So with the remote, you can turn the device on or off. As you can see, you have a couple different variations in color. You can change the brightness. That's at max. You can dim it down. Looks like, what do we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 different variations, so 6 different levels of brightness. By pressing the device as well, if you lose the remote or your batteries are dead, you can just turn the light on or off doing this. You can cycle through the colors all the way to off. So you turn it on, you have that white. It is more of a cool white because you're layering the colors of the RGB, the red, green, and blue, so you never get like a nice bright white. You get kind of a layered white, but it's still kind of a you know, almost like a, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. The camera looks completely just like a cool white, but when you actually look at it, there's a little bit of color variation there. Then you have red, green, kind of a yellow, blue, that's like a pink, aqua, and then off. So pretty cool. You can also make the color changes with the remote. You have white, red, blue, and then green, or that's sort of like, they call it green, but it's more of, to me, more of like a yellowish, pale yellow. You have a couple different timer variations here, which I'm not really sure why they say timer, because on the remote it says timer, but then you have 4 functions. So you have the flash function, which should just cycle through the different colors, on or off. You have a 7 color function, which, let's see what that does. I was messing with this the other day, and I found that the 7 color function, maybe it didn't wait long enough. It doesn't seem to do anything. So I'm not sure what that's about. So from what I can tell, 7 color function doesn't do anything. Then of course you have fade, and the fade will fade between colors, kind of gently, kind of pulse. And then you have a 120 minute function, whereas, whoops, go back here, I've turned the brightness back up to max. Then you have a 120 minute function, and I assume that will actually just turn this off in 120 minutes. So pretty cool. I'm also assuming that when you change the color, if you're going to go ahead and say, all right, I want this to turn off in 120 minutes, but I want it on white, I assume if you change the color, you should probably press the 120 timer function again. It'll flash white and then go back to the color you selected and then turn off. And I'm just going to turn these off. Pretty cool. You know, they're not super bright, but what's interesting is they actually show on the box 5 LEDs, and when you get these, it's pretty clear there's only 3 LEDs. So I don't like when companies do that, but you know, that is on the box. It's not actually what the Amazon listing says. At least with the Amazon listing, it does show in the pictures that you have 3 different LEDs kind of shining through the kind of frosted acrylic. What else? Let's see. You know, they talk a little bit about the dimensions. So what I normally tell you guys to do is just click the description or click the link in the description where you can check these out. A little bit of false information. Again, I hate when they do this. They do show on here on their picture that it has as a number 3 feature. It shows you how to mount the things. Twist along the direction open, put the batteries in there. Stick the double-sided adhesive tapes on the light. Let me just make sure. So I didn't see this in the box, but I might have made a mistake. I did kind of rip this open and just kind of test it out really quick. See if they've included that. Oh, it looks like I stand corrected. So they do include some 3M double stick tape. So that's cool. So you don't have to go out and buy that. I'm still a fan of just drilling a quick hole and mounting them with the screw, but again, that depends on your situation. And they're showing this thing mounted in a closet. I don't know, how bright these are going to be. They're more of like a decorative kind of light, but the white is going to be your brightest, obviously, and it's still going to give you some illumination. The only downside I see taking like this, and I don't know, time will tell how these things hold up, is I've had lights in the past, and generally anything that has a remote control, it is drawing some kind of power in order to be able to receive the signal. It's not completely off, and there is a little bit of a power drain even if you're not using these. So that's been my only I guess complaint with lights like this. Now again, remember when I did the review on the other ones with the battery powered lights like this, they're a little bit smaller, and they did have the remote control, and I used to have these things mounted under my kitchen cabinets, one similar to this. And again, the only downside to these is that there is a power draw. So even if I'm not even using the lights, let's say you mount these things in an area where you're not going to use them very often, but you figure, all right, well, I'm going to put the batteries in, I'm going to use them, when I entertain, have a little bit of blue ambiance, whatever your situation. You may come back to them in 6 months and find that the batteries are completely drained and you've never turned them on. So there is a power draw with most of these things that have a remote. That is a little bit of a downside to me. I wish that these were set up in a way that when you go ahead and maybe cycle through the different colors, that when you actually turned it off, it turned the device completely off. That would really make the batteries last longer, or having like a default switch. And I think that companies like this, they're always listening to my videos. They're listening to lots of YouTubers' videos, of course, and a lot of times they'll take the information that we put out and say, hey, it's a great idea. Well, on our new version, our updated version, that's usually how it goes. Brands tend to try to get better. Maybe they'll add a default like on-off switch. I know when you look at like a lot of solar lights for the outdoors, of course they charge by solar energy, and then they'll have that default on-off switch, which is great because during the, this is unrelated to these, but during the winter time when you don't get a lot of sun, depending on where you live, if you keep draining that battery down, you may only get maybe an hour of sun, right? And sometimes that's not enough to charge the battery in those things. And in time, they're going to burn through the power more than they're actually taking in, and you could damage the batteries in those things with built-in rechargeable batteries. So they put an on-off switch to turn them off, so you can just have this thing charging consistently throughout the winter time, and you're not actually damaging the battery. With this would have been a really nice addition to have an on-off button, which actually killed power completely. So when you try to use a remote, it's completely off. That's really my only complaint with stuff like this. I hate going through batteries. So, folks, make that addition to your updated version if you decide to come out with a new updated version. But as far as the other items they have the 6-pack and the 4-pack. 6-pack's going to run you $28 or $29 before your tax, depending on where you live. A 4-pack is $21.98. As far as their other items, when I click their store, you can get, what else they got here? They have warm white versions, which honestly, hindsight, being that these are more with the I figure the RGB would just be kind of fun. I probably should have went with just a standard warm white. And maybe at a later date I'll review those down the road. Only because I feel like with these with the RGB you kind of sacrifice the brightness. And I have lights like this that are very similar that are just plain old white, and they're motion sensor lights, and I use them around my parents' stairs, so at night they can see the stairs. I use them in a couple of my closets, and they seem to last pretty well. Seems like the motion sensor lights have a better battery life than lights that have the remote control. And again, these might be different, but just giving you guys so you guys are aware is a potential issue you might have is battery drainage. But I probably should have went with the the standard white ones, just because it would have been a little more functional. Now I do have a picture here showing this kind of built-in wall cabinet, and they have the clear kind of warm white lights above the TV. It looks really cool. Then on the sides they have a couple of these lights shining down with like this kind of bluish, almost black light kind of hue. Just so you guys know, these are not going to put out that light. This is just plain old blue. Again, the colors I cycle through. They're showing this thing as being like this really kind of almost eerie, kind of what's the best way to describe it? Like this oceanic. It's not like a deep blue. It's not like the blue you see behind me here. That's what this was going to give you, something similar to that. And again, these can go really dark blue, but this is more of like a black light shine. So just so you know, you're not going to get that color they're pictured or showing on their website or on the Amazon listing out of these lights. One of the other lights they show you, the picture beneath that, which just kind of looks like a bunk bed and kind of a student desk. That's more realistic on the colors. Even the green looks a little bit too green, but you know, the other colors look more realistic. And as far as anything else they got, you know, they're showing you on the staircase. You know, remember these are battery powered, so and they have another one here. It's another 6-pack, which is $35, and I can't seem to see what the difference is there. Huh, odd. So you have a very strange. You have a classic or modern variation, 6 lights for $35. I'm not seeing what the difference is. Maybe that's just, maybe the white ones are more. But then you go down here and you look at the other white ones and they're less. So very confusing. Anyway, guys, check them out. They seem to work pretty cool. We'll definitely find a use for these things. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I do appreciate this company taking the time to, I'm going to try to say the name again, Holk Pilot. It's HOLKPOILOT. And it looks like they also have, just so you guys know, when you go, I'll put a link to their actual store, and then this product specifically. You have they have home, puck lights, warm and white. Then you have puck lights RGB, and then puck lights with battery. As far as I can tell, they're all battery powered. So a little confused there, but yeah, check it out. Maybe you'll be able to decipher a little better than I did. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Do subscribe to the channel, and have a great day.